Welcome back to Testament Sherlock Holmes. We're at Westgate Prison and we're gonna give things to people. I thought, but nope.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes, you can't go into the basement for the moment.
For what reason?
The door has locked itself automatically. We must enter a new security code.
Do it then.
Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard duty list yet. Without that information, we don't know who's authorised to take note of the new code.
So Mackenzie is locked in the high security zone.
Yes, but don't worry about him. He's trained for this sort of dysfunction.
Why not ask the director to take note of the code and open the door?
He isn't allowed to, and I doubt that he would run the risk of going against the orders of the administration centre. Anyway, the bars in the high security section are joined to the alarm system, which is in that room. We only need to sound it to unblock, but you see we can't do that now.
We'll try to find the duty list, Warden James.
We have found Chief Warden James's duty list.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Let's see. O'Sullivan, it's you who takes over from Mackenzie. Take note of the code, please, and unblock the door.
At once, Chief. Ah, Mr. Holmes, could I ask you for a favour?
Please do.
I think I can say on behalf of all the staff that we would be honoured if you would care to write something in our guest book.
With pleasure, O'Sullivan.
No, why are you using his pen?
You seem worn out, O'Sullivan. A good night's sleep would do you good.
A good night's sleep would do me good. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Is something worrying you?
As you know, Westgate Prison will soon be demolished, and I'm spending most of my nights studying for my exam to join the police. You understand, I have to think about my future. So sleep isn't a priority at the moment.
Scotland Yard is always looking for young, competent and motivated men. Would a letter of recommendation from me allow you to get some sleep?
What? A letter from Mr. Sherlock Holmes recommending me for Scotland Yard? Are you quite serious?
Completely serious, my young friend. May I use this writing paper? The one on your desk.
1,000 thanks, Mr. Holmes. 1,000 thanks.
It is addressed to Inspector Baines, a good friend of mine. There's no need to remind you that it must be opened only by the person to whom it is addressed.
Yes, of course. I'll give it to him personally. Thank you again, Mr. Holmes.
Holmes, what are you doing?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Why are you using Hans's pen to write these things? Pretty sure that's not a good idea. What are you doing?
Warden Mackenzie.
Your service, sir. Okay.
Well. See you. Well.
You have what you wanted, your precious pen.
You seem annoyed, Mr. Holmes. I would even go so far as to say terribly worried.
Why should you care, Mr. Schielman? Let's talk about that poison.
I am not talking about you in the grip of natural emotions found in ordinary people who are confronted by the inexplicable. But as for Mr. Holmes, you are embarrassed, aren't you? Are you hiding something?
That is enough, Schielman.
You have kept your word. Therefore, I will keep mine. At this moment, the poison which so interests you isn't finished yet. Its maker is encountering great difficulties in attaining the desired results.
What is the end result?
Now, Mr. Holmes, the end result of any science, as Descartes once said, to become the master and owner of nature. Here we are talking about human nature, of course. And the creator's problem isn't so much the mixture as the durability of his creation.
What do you mean?
You see, this poison was made using rare but very volatile short-living compounds, which means that it is only possible to produce small quantities, which most importantly do not keep for a long time. Conceiving such a product in a laboratory especially built for the purpose could be achieved by any good chemist. But recopying this alchemy on another scale and keeping it ready at any moment, observing the particular conservation and storing conditions that a substance of this type requires, well, that would need a genius. I doubt if the creator of this mixture would be capable.
And you would be, of course.
Of course.
Luckily, you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Luck is cyclical. It always comes around again, sooner or later. As far as I am concerned, I have the feeling that the cycle is going to be very short.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Holmes, it sounds to me as though this Schielman is implying that an escape attempt will be made.
Yes, we must go and warn the director.
Okie dokie. Let's go and warn the director. When I'm done. There we go. Whoopsie daisy.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, they changed. Okay. Poor little dude. If something happens, that's not gonna be fun.
See you.
Stroms. Here's
Warden
Ken's. Yeah, your service, sir. Right. No, there are not a lot of people working here. It's like 4 people. And the secretary and the director, obviously.
It is out of the question that your bastard is named Patterson. Very well. You refuse to reveal the father to me? Well, then go and join him. I'm not stopping you.
I can't.
Director, you will have to postpone this small family reunion. We believe that a serious scheme is afoot. We must act without delay.
You're not thinking of...
Yes. Schielman's words leave no room for doubt. It seems that he is planning an escape attempt. We strongly advise you to search his cell.
Do you really believe that he's hiding something? Because I must make an official report and have a legitimate reason for doing a search.
Director, if this prison is still in operation, it is solely because of its reputation. Think of the consequences of an escape. It would be closed at once. And what post do you imagine would be offered to the person deemed responsible?
You're right. No one will escape from Westgate under Patterson. I will order an immediate search of Mr. Schielman's cell.
Is that really good, though?
Chief Warden James reporting. The search of prisoner Hans Schielman's cell has been carried out. No suspicious items were found.
Thank you, Chief James. I feel better now. Without wishing to offend you, Mr. Holmes, I am glad that you were mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken, we've nothing more to do here. Shall we go, Holmes?
There's just one more thing for me to see, Watson.
What's that?
Mr. Holmes, sorry to interrupt you, but Miss Jenny wishes to see you alone. She's waiting for you in her office.
This, Watson.
How did you know?
Wait for me in the guard's room. I won't be long.
Okay. What's happening now?
What an extraordinary gentleman that Sherlock Holmes is. You must have had lots of adventures with him.
Oh, yes. Dozens.
Thought he was infallible. But there wasn't anything out of the way in the rat killer's cell. Could he have been mistaken?
I must admit...
Warden Brighton, in my office immediately. That's an order.
The director seems furious.
Yes. It must be important for him to order Brighton to leave his post.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's not normal. I've never heard Flint shout like that.
But why doesn't O'Sullivan sound the alarm?
Follow me, Mackenzie. Let's go and have a look.
I'll come with you.
No, Dr. Watson, you're not allowed in. Wait for me here.
Very well.
Shouldn't they be more people?
Hey, but the grill is blocked, Chief.
We've been locked in. And that smoke, it's coming from below. O'Sullivan! Can you hear us?
Sully, are you alive? Answer us, Sully.
What's going on? Can I help you?
Sound the alarm in the guard's room. That should unblock the door. Be quick. O'Sullivan might be in danger.
Oh, crap.
It doesn't work.
Want to do something?
It doesn't.
Isn't this the guard's room?
Locked.
Hey, what are you waiting for to sound it?
It's impossible. It's been damaged.
Oh, sorry.
I'll run and warn the director.
No, Doctor. Our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Very well.
Take the keys. They're in our room.
Here. Oh, I told you this dude was gonna get out as soon as he got his... pen. This is not good.
Locked.
There he is.
It doesn't work.
Useless! This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below! Give me the keys! Quickly!
Pretty sure that's not O'Sullivan. That is
Got the
definitely
keys, Doctor.
Hans.
Thank you!
That is Hans. That is Hans.
Follow me, Watson. We must repair the alarm.
That was Hans.
Finally. There you are, Holmes.
That was Hans. Very much.
I'm going to turn on the system. Watson, you make sure of the contact.
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
What am I doing? Oh. How? Oh my god! What am I doing? What am I even doing? Ow. What do I want to go into the middle? Ow! What? Okay. Ow! I was so close! What? Okay. Oh my god, where am I going? Oh, I'm going out the other side? Okay. Ah, my pulse is going up. Holy moly. Oh my god. Ah. Ow. Can't even see where I have my thingy. Can I even go round though? Because I mean I can't go. Oh, I can't. Oh, oh my god. Okay. So where? Wait, where am I going? What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm so confused now. What am I even trying to do? What am I trying to achieve? Am I trying to get into the middle? What am I doing? Ow. What am I doing here? Oh, okay.
It
Good.
works.
Perfect.
It's open. Let's go down.
Be careful. From what your colleague said, the flints are out.
We are trained for this sort of situation. And we're armed.
Come and help us, Watson.
Oh, Hans is getting out the other door.
Everything is back to normal. Thank you for your help,
No,
gentlemen.
where is Hans?
It was a pleasure.
Where is Hans?
But where is O'Sullivan?
Yeah.
He's no longer here. He must have gone out through the visitor's entrance.
Yes, and he must be pleased to have gotten out of the basement.
Good. We must now check all the cells. It's the procedure in case of an alarm.
Of course.
We'll come and help you.
You are evidently fond of wasting time, my dear fellow. Rejoin me at the reception when you've finished.
Dude, Hans is no longer here. Just so you know.
The grate is open. This is alarming. He's fine where he is, under the cover, still.
Nope.
How can he sleep with all this noise?
I'll admit it's not normal. Perhaps the smoke has poisoned him. I had better take a look.
Be careful, Doctor. He is dangerous.
I don't think that's him. I think that's Sullivan. Yep.
O'Sullivan!
It's impossible. He was with us only a few moments ago. Or else...
Or else it wasn't O'Sullivan.
My God, he's escaped. The rat killer has escaped.
Crap. Because he got his pen. I'm telling you, it's because he got his pen.
Ah, Holmes, there you are. Hans has escaped. I fear that this inquiry is a bitter defeat for us.
Not at all, my dear fellow. Quite the contrary. Follow me.
He probably got Hans out on purpose.
Why the
to
devil
follow
have you
him.
brought me behind the prison?
We have an appointment, Watson.
Yep. He's right here. Because Holmes did it on
Look
purpose.
who is waiting for us.
Schielman! I'll go back and alert the guards.
Calm down. He's harmless.
But what is he doing here? Why hasn't he run away?
Because I asked him not to.
Are you telling me that you helped him to escape?
Quite so, as he wouldn't have been able to do so alone.
But how? And why? He's a dangerous madman. Holmes, you've made me an accomplice in this escape. You owe me some explanation.
And you will have them. But my priority for the moment is to remove our new friend to a safe place. I won't be long, but I must go alone. I'll rejoin you later. Just give me your next destination.
Very well. I suppose you know what you're doing.
How could you doubt it? Here, take the notes. They will help you when you write up the account of our visit to Westgate. So, where do I find you?
The next step of our investigation should take place in the Whitechapel area.
Good. Go then, and I'll rejoin you there.
Holmes's notes regarding the way that he helped Hans Schielman to escape from prison are so extraordinary that I felt it would be better to transcribe word for word the conversation that we had afterwards regarding this matter. I felt the impatience in my friend's look. However, he delayed relaying to me the details of his incredible achievement. He began by telling me about Hans Schielman's fountain pen. This is what he said. The key to the escape was actually Hans Schielman's fountain pen. I discovered a note inside Schielman's locker. I can quote it to you from memory. Whoever is smart enough to open this case should know that a couple of drops of my masterpiece are mixed together with the ink inside the pen's reservoir. If you are reading this note, it means I am in a tight spot, so understand that my special ink will temporarily destroy the will of anyone it touches. Therefore, you have a few precious seconds during which you can shape the subject's will. If you recognize my genius, use this knowledge to get me out of the embarrassing situation that I am undoubtedly in. Schielman had left this instrument for his future escape inside a case secured by a devious combination. That way he could ensure that none of the prison staff would find it other than a well-informed friend. Understanding this, I decided to play along with him, but with a double game of my own. I would help him escape, but I would also keep him under control by using his own creation on him. I allowed Schielman to commence the game by giving him his pen, and then I started to advance my pawns. My first move was to persuade the director that it was necessary to search the cell. I therefore passed the ball into Schielman's court by giving him the opportunity with Warden James. He did not waste it. He coated the bars of his cell with the poison ink, and Warden James, whose hands were contaminated, was under his control for a few seconds. He discreetly and simply ordered James to give him the keys. The ball was then back in my court. Now I had to find a way of neutralizing Warden O'Sullivan, who was to be the basement guard, as we discovered when we found Miss Patterson's duty sheet. I must admit that the young warden helped me enormously by asking me to sign the prison's visitor's book. Absorbed in the tale, I went over the chronology of the events in my mind. I remarked that Holmes had already signed the visitor's book before giving Schielman his pen. He replied in the most annoyed tone. Exactly, I anticipated it, and it was because of that I managed to get a step ahead in my game with Schielman. I was leading the race, and all the while he believed it to be the other way around. Schielman did not suspect that I had already used his poison and thought that O'Sullivan's being asleep was a godsend. He therefore was not suspicious about the letter of reference that he found inside the warden's pocket. Holmes then returned to the point at which he had broken from his tale to point out to me the lack of pertinence to my remark. Okay. No, that was nothing more. Oh! It was. Continued. Okay. But do not put the cart before the horse, Watson. Do let me continue. So, by merely touching the fresh ink upon the page in the visitor's book, O'Sullivan was under my control. I suggested a state of advanced drowsiness, but ordered him not to do anything immediately. Just sufficient for him to be unable to resist a siesta during his guard duty. Later, after the changing of the guard, Schielman used the keys to let himself out of his cell. He hit the sleeping O'Sullivan over the head and exchanged his prison uniform for the warden's. Then he created a smokescreen by using the ingredients that I had given to him: sugar from Miss Patterson's tea tray, Brighton's bicarbonates of soda, potassium nitrate from the guard's room, and sulfur from a few matches. He used the keys again to free the Flint brothers. The two ruffians leapt at each other's throats and made the very dickens of a noise. He had the diversion he needed to leave the high-security area. And that is the moment where you entered the game, Watson. Thinking that you were helping O'Sullivan, you allowed Hans Schielman to open the corridor annex's bars by throwing him the keys. On my side, I opened the second lot by turning the alarm on again. In light of Holmes' explanation, I began to see my actions during this episode from quite another angle. I was troubled by the way that he had used me, without my having any idea at the time of the duplicity of my actions. I interrupted his monologue to refer to the guards who had not realized what was happening, and who were occupied with restraining the Flint brothers. Holmes continued. Exactly. So there was now only one obstacle in front of Schielman, Warden Brighton on the reception desk at the front of the building. I interrupted him again. But it was the director who summoned him so insistently, Holmes. You won't have me believe that he was an accomplice in this escape? Of course not. I provoked the director's rage towards Brighton. Too impatient, I could not stop myself from asking him. I discovered that Jenny Patterson and Brighton were lovers. I also knew that the director did not have any idea about their affair, and that he would surely fall into a foul rage if he found out. I asked him if that was also the reason why Miss Patterson had been summoned. Yes, she knew that I had opened her locket to find the guard duty list, and so she knew that I was aware of her affair with Brighton. She wanted to make sure that I would not say anything. I pointed out that it had been rather unfeeling on his part to have told the director everything, reminding him of his promise to the young woman. He denied it in a somewhat hypocritical manner. I did not say anything. I simply left the lovers' letters inside the urgent correspondence box in the secretary's office, knowing that they would be delivered to him a few minutes later, thereby provoking his anger. Oh, Holmes said it. Okay. The director shouted at Brighton, who rushed off to the secretary's office. Schielman now had nothing to stand between him and the front door. Another question leapt into my mind, and not the least important one. Why did he not simply run away once he was outside? Why did he wait? I was not disappointed by my friend's answer. It is evident, my dear Watson. If he did not run away, then it was only thanks to that aforementioned step ahead of which I told you. It gave me enough time to write the letter of recommendation for O'Sullivan with a poisoned pen. It was in the pocket of the uniform, and Schielman could not resist reading it when he found it. But what was written in that letter? Not very much. Just, congratulations on your escape. Wait for me here. I gaped at him. And that is how the first and only escape from the most inviolable prison in the kingdom came to pass, a scenario which, without doubt, will prove to be the focus of police college studies for a long time to come, as one of the most extraordinary escapes in the history of a modern prison. What? That was pretty cool, though.
Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
Or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
Alright. You control Sherlock Holmes in Whitechapel.
Nothing of interest here.
Whitechapel Street. And I think this is where we're gonna take a break. And it's a pretty good place to, you know, break, really. So that was the prison. And yes, I read everything. So, you know. So, yeah. I don't know what happened to Hans, but, Sherlock fooled him pretty good. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see ya.